Hi, my name is Kaiser. This is 2 Drink Deception. Welcome to the bar, and I'm going to teach you guys some magic. Now, what I'm going to teach you today is a little bittersweet to me because it's an effect that I've been performing for a very long time, for years and years and years. It always gets great reactions, and it just absolutely baffles everyone. But I really want to start my channel off with a bang, and I'm going to retire this from my routine pretty soon. So this is my gift to you all. Now, this particular effect does not require any sleight of hand. It is completely self-working, although you can add sleight of hand to enhance it. I'll speak about that in a bit, but it is simple enough for beginners to do and intricate enough for more intermediate and advanced magicians to add it to their repertoire. I personally like to use it as part of routines in which I do a lot of ace effects, and this particular trick I'd use as a segue into an ambitious card routine that involves the 4 aces. Now, I like to call this the psychic ace. This is actually a modified take on a classic, and it looks like this. Now, everyone has their favorite ace. Everyone has their least favorite ace. What's your least favorite of these aces? The heart.
Well, it's the best one.
A lot of people pick the club, but we'll take the heart.
You don't like booties?
So, you know what? Yeah. What we're gonna do is we got the spade, diamond, and club here. I'm gonna turn these down, and then I want you to take these and then shuffle them up in your hand so that we don't know which one's which. Already forgot. And then when you're done, just place them in 3 separate, there you go, positions. There you go. 2, 3. And we'll put some other cards on top of these. That's pretty good. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to pick up one of these packets. You can pick one up. Well, you got a drink, so you pick one up, you pick one up, and then you pick one up. And then shuffle the cards in that packet up so that we don't know where the ace is in that packet. We just know that each packet has an ace, but we don't know which ace it is or where it is in that packet. Correct? All right. It's all right.
No, I'm not.
Got plenty more where those came from.
God damn it, Joe. You want them back?
Yeah, you can go ahead and put them back in. Okay, now, Tom, I want you to just point to any packet. This one. I'm going to show you the cards in this packet. There's going to be an ace into this packet, okay? Now, I only want you to see it. Now, it's a lot of people here, so other people see it. It's okay. But I want you to just build an affinity towards whatever ace is in this packet, okay? All right? So there's an ace in this packet. Okay, you know what ace it is. You see it? Okay, all right. We're going to build that affinity up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to deal 3 packets out. All right, now I want you to again, point to any packet. I'm going to show you the cards in this packet. Is your ace in this packet? It is not? Okay, it's all right. We just got to work towards that affinity. Pick one of the 2 remaining packets. Is your ace in this packet? Yes. It is. All right, pretty good. I think we're doing a pretty good job of building that affinity. I'm going to do that one more time. Deal out 3 packets. An affinity stone. The affinity gauntlet.
Yeah.
Again, pick one of the packets. Is your ace in this packet? It is not?
Nope.
Okay. Pick one of the 2 remaining packets. Is your ace in this packet?
Yes.
It is. I think we're good there. Okay, so we had you take out the aces you don't like. And then we shuffled up the aces. We put them in 3 separate packets. You got to shuffle the packets up, and then we tried to build an affinity. I think we can all agree that I don't know what ace you picked, right? I have no idea because you have not named it. You've only just looked at it multiple times. So I could not have seen it or known what ace it is. Now, some of the people have seen the ace. Some of the people have not seen the ace, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to start dealing cards down onto the mat very slowly. And I want you to say, stop when you feel like I'm getting there. Stop. Right here. You want me to stop there? You sure? You want to go one more? Okay. So we've dealt those cards off the deck, leaving this. There's one card on top of the deck. Now, you have not named your ace yet. You've only thought of it. You've burned that image into your mind. We dealt the cards out, and you built an affinity towards it. For the first time, I want you to name your ace that you were just thinking of.
Ace of diamonds.
You stopped. I remember I said you could go one more card or not.
It's whack.
But you stopped at the ace of diamonds. Amazing. Good job, Tom. Great job. Now, and there it is. And as you can see, very good reactions, a lot of crowd interaction, a lot of spectator interaction, and there are actually ways to enhance that I'll speak about in the tutorial, because I know you were wondering, well, I clicked on this video, how is it done? Here you go. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need, obviously, is a deck of cards with the 4 aces in them. Now, how you get these aces out is completely up to you. You can simply freely take them out of the deck. You can produce them in some flashy fashion. You do an effect prior to this effect, which involves the aces, which is what I like to do. But as long as you get the 4 aces out, that's fine. Now, once you have your 4 aces, you can do like I did in my performance, in which I simply asked one of the spectators to name an ace, and then we put it back into the deck. I actually would recommend against that. The reason being is that sometimes spectators will assume that that is the ace they need to be focused on. Now, it doesn't happen often, but it does happen sometimes. So I find some other more elegant method in order to eliminate one of the aces. You can simply ask them to select 3 of the aces, and whichever one they don't select, you put back into the deck. So let's say that the ace of hearts is the odd man out. Put it back into the deck, and you can shuffle it up. Now what you're going to do is you're going to collect the 3 aces, and then you're going to hand them to your spectator, tell them to place them face down and shuffle them up, and place them in 3 separate spots on the table, mat, bar, wherever you may be. So you got 3 aces. Now you don't know which ace is which. In fact, nobody knows which ace is which. Now what you're going to do, you're going to say something to the effect of, okay, let's add some more cards. Don't make a big deal out of it. Just do it. What you're going to do is take 2 cards off the top of the deck and you're going to place them on the first pile. That is a pile of 3 cards. And you're going to do the same for the other 2. So you have 3 piles of 3 cards. That's 9 cards. And then you're going to repeat that process, except the next time you're going to take 3 cards off the top of the deck and put them on the first pile. 3 cards on the second pile, 3 cards on the third pile. And then you're going to do that one more time. 3, 3, 3. So in all, that's actually 9 piles of 3, giving you 27 cards, roughly half the deck. And I will even say, okay, that's about half the deck. That's pretty good. Put that to the side. You're not going to need that for now. So then you've got 3 packets, each containing 9 cards with an ace at the bottom. And then I hand these packets out to spectators, or the one spectator, and I ask them to shuffle these up so that we don't know the position of the ace in each packet. Okay, now once they've accomplished that, it's time for you to do your magic. Now, normally I will ask the spectator to select one of the 3 packets, and then I will pick it up and I will fan them and show them all the cards in the packet. Now, you can actually have the spectator themselves pick the packet up and look through it. Now, whether you do this or not depends on, I would say, your skill level overall as a magician, how much you trust the spectator, and how much rapport you've built with them. The reason being is at this point, they really can't mess the trick up. However, if you have them pick one of the packets up and look through it, you want them to do that each phase of the trick, and they can mess the trick up. If they go through the cards, and sometimes people will do like this. They'll look through the cards and then they'll move them around. Okay, you don't want that. You want them to just look, ensure their ace is there, close the packet, and then put it back down. So this is really up to you. Now, if I show, like in the performance video, I just showed the guy this. No one will suspect or think that you possibly, peeked. Just use your best judgment. Okay. So you have the spectator select one of the 3 packets. Let's say in this case, they select the middle packet, and you tell them to look through the packet as you fan it out in front of them, and you will see an ace. You may see 2 aces. It's important to say that because a lot of times a spectator will see 2 aces. They'll see the ace that you shuffled back into the deck. Simply say, I just need you to focus on one of the aces. So let's say, and it doesn't matter which one they choose, okay? But let's say they choose the ace of clubs. Now that is their ace. Now, once they've got their ace in their mind and you say, make sure that you focus on that ace, tell no one and show it to no one. And if other people see it, it's fine. But I feel like the impact is much greater if they're the only person that knows what their ace is that they're just thinking. So once they're done, they place that packet back down. This is very important. You're going to pick that packet up and you're going to place it on top of any one of the other 2 packets, and then pick that entire packet up and place it on top of the last packet. So now what you have is you have their ace somewhere in the top 9 cards, and then the other 18 underneath. So then you say, okay, we're going to do an affinity test to test your affinity for the ace that you were thinking of. So I'm going to deal 3 packets. So you deal out the 27 cards into 3 even packets. Okay, now once you've done this, you simply ask the spectator again to choose any one of the 3 packets. So let's say they choose this one over here, and they look through it, or you show and you say, hey, is your ace in this packet? So the ace of clubs is not in this packet. And they're going to say no. And you say, okay, we'll try again with one of the other packets. Select one. Let's say they select this one. Is your ace in this packet? They say no. At this point, I might make a joke about, how bad they're doing. Once again, you have to know your audience and the rapport that you have with them. But for the most part, you can just say, okay, we just need to work on that affinity. So I say, I know your ace is in this packet, but let's check just to be sure. Have them look, and sure enough, their ace, the ace of clubs, is in this packet. And then you say, okay, we're going to repeat that one more time. So you take the packet that their ace is in, you pick it up, you place it on top of any of the other 2 packets, and you pick that whole packet up and you place it on top of the last packet. So again, you have their card somewhere in the top 9 of this packet with the others underneath it. So then you deal out one more time, 3 more packets. And then again, ask the spectator to select any one of the packets. Let's say they select this one. Well, I'm batting 1,000 today, but their card is not in here. Same thing. You place it down, ask them to pick a different packet. Let's say that they pick this packet. And sure enough, their ace is here. In fact, all 4 aces are here. Go figure. But their ace is in this packet. And they're going to say, yep, my ace is in that packet. And then you say, okay, I think we're good here. I think you've built up a pretty good affinity, but let's try something else. Again, you take their packet with the ace, you place it on top of one of the other 2 packets, and then you place that on the last packet. So now what you have is you know exactly where their ace is. It will be 7th from the top of this packet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It will always be 7th from the top if you've done this correctly. So now what I like to do is, and this is the part where if you know a little bit of sleight of hand, you can add it, because after the effect is over, some spectators will say, well, maybe he knew that that card was going to be where it was, when the spectator said stop or something to that effect. So what I like to do is I then take the other half of the deck, I place the packet with their card, 7th from the top on top, and then I just perform like a false overhand shuffle. I just do this openly and just don't draw a lot of attention to it. Okay, yeah, we need to do another different kind of affinity test. And after the false shuffle, their card is 7th from the top. Okay, so just throwing a real quick false shuffle if you know how. If you don't, that's perfectly okay. You can actually go to the subscriber section and learn how to do that false shuffle. But if you don't know how, it's okay. You do not need to throw a false shuffle in there. It's just something that I like to do as a convincer. All right, so now you're at the moment of truth. You have a deck of cards. You know that their ace is 7th from the top. So you need them to turn that card over. And then this next part of the effect is what's called a psychic stop. It's very bold. It's going to take a lot of confidence and some practice. So you're going to have to practice your rhythm here. But I would say it works surprisingly well. I'm going to say like 80% of the time it's going to work perfectly. And even if it doesn't, there are outs that you have for this so that you can get it right every time. And I'll show you what those outs are. Okay. All right. So what I do is I deal the first card very slowly. Same with the second. And I say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start dealing cards very slowly and deal them very slowly. When you get to about the third, as you're dealing fourth card, I say, now what I need you to do is just say, stop when you feel something. Now, by this time, you should be at the 5th card. You want to deal these very slowly. A lot of times I like to look the spectator in the eye, which, makes it kind of awkward. And then normally around this time, they'll say, stop. You say, okay, you want to go one more? They may say yeah or nay. And then they say, okay. Now, as you see, you've dealt off the top 6 cards of the deck. This is the position that we were in the performance video. And then I just say, okay, so we've dealt off these and you said to stop right here. I even said you could go one more. And then at that point, you ask the spectator, what was the card you were just thinking of? Just say that. The card, not the card that you picked, not the ace that you saw. What's the ace that you're thinking of? Because you want everyone else to believe that, yes, they were just thinking of this ace. And they're going to say ace of clubs. And then you turn over very slowly. And be sure to reiterate, you could have stopped anywhere, but you stopped at the ace of clubs. And then you get the kind of reaction that you saw in the performance video. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, what if they don't stop there? Okay. Well, fortunately for you, you have quite a few options. So you need them to either stop at the 5th card, the 6th card, or the 7th card is where you need them to say stop. Here's what happens at each of those. If you deal off 5 cards and they say stop right here, you have one or two choices. You can either pretend like you didn't hear and deal off another card, or you can just stop right there. And then, are you sure? Do you want to go one more? Maybe even 2 more? If they say yeah, then proceed. If they say no, I'm good here, then all you need to do is double lift. And their card is here. And then they're going to, wow, oh my God. Of course, this is not optimal because a double lift is kind of dirty. You may not know how to do a double lift. If you don't know how to do a double lift, there are millions and millions of videos on YouTube on how to do double lift, or you can learn some advanced double lift techniques in the subscriber section. But you can do a double lift. Okay? Double lift should be last resort. You should really try, hey, you sure you don't want to go 1 more or even 2 more? Get them to go past the 5th card. If they're stubborn and say no, then you have your double lift as an out. Okay. All right. But let's say they stop at the 6th card like they did in the performance video. Well, that's easy. Then you're going to show them the 7th card on the top of the deck. And what if they say stop at the 7th card? Well, that's easy. Then you show them this card. Okay. Now, what if they say, no, they just keep going? You're dealing cards and they just don't want to stop. Okay. So here's where knowing a little bit of sleight of hand may help. What I like to do is I like to stop when I get to the 7th card if they haven't said stop, and say, you know what? This is going to take all night, which normally elicits a laugh or two. Let's try a different method, because you know that this is their card, okay? They don't know that, but you know that this one is. So you can place it back on top of the deck, and here you are. Now you're in this position. If you know any reveals or anything to that effect, you can go ahead with those methods. I like to do a card at any number. There's one that I like to use by Boris Wilde. It's really good. It's so good at Fold, Pin, and Teller. I'm not going to teach it in this video. Please go buy his video if you want to learn that one. Or any other card at number. One that I like to do if it's a real intimate setting, I just simply like to Tenkai palm their card off, and then just say stop whenever, or name a number, and they name a number, and I deal that many. When I get to that number, I say, okay, you sure? And they're going to say, yeah, okay. All right, let's stop there. And then, of course, that's their card. Tenkai palm, they can't see anything from this angle. That's one that I like to use. Or, just any other card at any number method in order to get their card, or any other card at any number method in order to get their card, because you know where it is at that point. Having said that, that very rarely happens. I'll be honest. I've maybe had to do that. I mean, I'll say maybe 5% of the time do I get to the point where the spectator does not stop at the 5th, 6th, or 7th card and needs to continue on. However, if you don't know any sleight of hand and you don't feel comfortable doing that, there are a lot of other different methods. I suggest simply doing a reveal of some sort. You could even do like a false cut. Hey, let's find a different method of getting your cards. Let's just do this cut here. There's a lot of different things that you could do to reveal that card. It's not as impactful as the regular psychic stop, but it works, and you will get good reactions from it. And there it is. Pretty simple. Now, I lied a bit. It does require a little bit of sleight of hand, or you really want to know a few things here and there in order to make sure that this works 100% of the time for you, and you get maximum effect from this. Very easy routine. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you use it for years and years, or I really honestly suggest creating your own take on this effect based on the concepts that we taught in this video, so that you can start creating better routines. And if you need help determining what the next effect in your routine should be and how to do it, be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel so I can teach you guys more magic. My name is Kaiser. This is 2 Drink Deception. I'll see you guys at the bar.